3 bone-chilling true Stalker X stories that haunt you forever. From the shadows of the night, an unsettling chill creeps in. Imagine hearing your name whispered faintly as you walk alone, only to look around and find no one there. The fear isn't just a figment of your imagination, it's the bone-chilling truth of stalkers lurking in the dark corners of our lives. This is the kind of horror that gets under your skin, keeps you awake at night, and makes you question every creak in the floorboards. It's the relentless heartbeat of terror that fuels 3 shocking tales of those who dared to confront the monsters that shadowed them day and night. Take a moment to think back. A pair of eyes watches you from an alley, a figure you catch just out of the corner of your eye, vanish into thin air the moment you turn your head. Each heartbeat quickens as the unspeakable sense of being followed hangs in the air like fog. It's overwhelming. It seeps into your thoughts, rustling with every nervous glance and echoing in the uncanny silence around you. One evening, Sarah felt that exact dread while leaving her favorite coffee shop. The prickling sensation crawled over her skin like ice as she glanced back, her heart racing. There he stood, a stranger, too still, with an unsettling grin that would curl anyone's stomach, and then there was Jake, whose phone buzzed with anonymous messages that made his blood run cold. Each text read like a twisted riddle, unearthing secrets he never shared, taunting him from the other side of the screen. Was it a cruel joke? Or something much darker? The creeping sensation of paranoia wrapped tighter around him, squeezing every ounce of calm from his life as he locked his doors every night, convinced that something sinister was waiting just outside. Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. As we dive deeper, brace yourself, because you're not just going to hear about stalkers in the shadows. This story will twist and turn, dragging you through moments of sheer adrenaline and unrelenting fear. Another story emerges, one that entwines itself around a small-town girl who suddenly finds her every move monitored, her life turned into a wicked game. Alarm bells clang in her head as whispers float through her mind, but the real question is, who will emerge as the victor in this deadly cat-and-mouse chase? Will she escape the tightening grip of an unseen prowler? Or will the darkness finally claim her? With every step she takes, the danger seems closer, and the answer lies just a heartbeat away, scratching at the walls of reality. The air thickened as dusk settled over the town, shadows stretching like fingers out of dark corners. Lily, the small-town girl, stepped cautiously from her last class, her senses on high alert. That unease she had felt earlier now roared in her chest, a wild beast clawing to be set free. She couldn't shake the feeling of eyes watching her, lurking just beyond the edges of light. Every footstep was a challenge, every whisper from the wind a threat. Just yesterday, she noticed a man loitering near the diner, his lips curving into a sinister smile as she walked past. Now, she could swear he was back, rooting himself firmly in an alleyway, half hidden by an old dumpster. A fleeting glimpse of a gray cap, then he disappeared, swallowed by shadows. For a moment, her breath caught, and she froze, brimming with instinctual fear. Pushing onward, she deliberately checked her phone. A text blinked ominously on the screen. I see you. The words felt like icy fingers wrapping around her throat. Who sent this? Her stomach twisted and churned. This wasn't the first time she had received strange, cryptic messages. They rolled in almost like clockwork now, invading her every waking moment. When she finally found a moment's peace like last night, when her mom's laughter filled the house somehow, the message would flash through her mind, taunting her that someone out there was watching, waiting. It wasn't just the messages. Her friends had started to notice too. You seem different, Jenna said while they sat in her living room. And what's with all the looking over your shoulder? Lily dismissed it with a laugh. but inside she felt the sting of truth. The hairs on the back of her neck stood up as she remembered the fleeting glimpse of that stranger from the diner. Tugging her coat tighter against the chilly evening, she decided to sprint home. Heart racing, she turned a corner, nearly colliding with a figure stepping out of the shadows. It was only a stray cat, its green eyes gleaming with otherworldly illumination. Just beyond, she could see her apartment glinting like a promise. Almost there behind her, footsteps echoed. Quick, relentless. The panic flooded her veins, and instinct kicked in. She darted around another corner, her breath uneven, praying to make it home. The adrenaline surged through her as she glanced back. There he was, faintly illuminated in the streetlight, a tall figure with that dreadful grin plastered on his face. "Run!" she screamed as she propelled forward, feet pounding on concrete. It was about survival now, the thrill of the chase was no game. She could feel his presence growing closer, the darkness swallowing her whole as she cut through neighbors' yards, heart racing, mind whirling. Finally, she reached her door, fumbling with the keys, fingers trembling. Would she make it? The sound of footsteps stopped just short of her. Breathless and panicked, she stared at the door, unsure how long she could keep the monster at bay. Suddenly, a low chuckle echoed behind her. "You can't hide forever, Lily." The door swung open. She raced inside, slamming it shut behind her. Would it protect her? She leaned against it, panting. Silence descended as she locked it tight, the snap of the lock ringing in her ears like a deafening alarm. The shadows still lurked outside, the threat simmering just below the surface. But what she didn't know was that this was only the beginning. There would be no escaping the relentless game being played. As the night fell deeper, a shadow flickered outside her window, a dark omen that this terrifying dance had only just begun. Was she truly safe yet? Or had she just stepped further into the monster's lair? The silence inside her apartment was suffocating. Lily pressed her back against the door, her breath coming in short gasps as adrenaline coursed through her like wildfire. The hairs on her arms stood on end, and she fought against the overwhelming urge to bolt for the window and escape into the night. That if only she could shake the echoes of that man's laughter. It crept under her skin, chilling her to the marrow. How did he know her name? Panic clawed at her insides. She dashed across the small living room to the window, peering into the darkness beyond. Shadows danced, but they were just the trees, swaying in the wind, right? Out of breath, she sat on the edge of the couch, her mind racing. She needed to call someone. Before she could even think, her phone buzzed again, jolting her. With tremulous fingers, she unlocked the screen. Another text, waiting like a serpent in the grass. "Look outside." Lily's heart thundered in her chest. She glanced toward the window again. Was it safe? Trepidation wrapped around her throat as she stood, inching closer to the glass. She pulled the curtain back, peering out. Nothing. Just the stillness of night, but instinct urged her to check again, so she took a step back, trying to get a better view. Her gut twisted like a knotted rope. She felt as if she were being watched, as if unseen eyes were committing her every move to memory. Tentatively, she frowned, scanning the streets. The blackened corners of her neighborhood loomed ominously like dark memories. Then she saw him. A figure stood under the flickering streetlight, a lanky silhouette draped in shadow, the gray cap tipped low. His gaze seemed laser-focused on her apartment. An icy chill washed over her. He couldn't see her, right? Holding her breath, she pulled back from the window, heart pounding with fear. This had to be a nightmare. But it was all too real, too tormenting. Lily staggered backward, colliding with the coffee table. The bump jolted her back to reality, but it brought with it another relentless wave of terror. She couldn't let him in. She wouldn't let him win. She moved to the door again, checking the lock. Still secure. Behind her, her phone buzzed once more. This time, she could feel her heart skip. Mustering every ounce of courage, she snatched it up. "Where are you?" The text read, but the sender was unknown. "Stop!" she whispered into the darkness. "Stop!" But it echoed unanswered around her, the very walls mocking her fear. Just then, a soft knock drifted through the stillness and reverberated in her bones. She froze, a lump forming in her throat. "Lily," a familiar voice filtered through the door. "It's Jenna. Let me in." Relief washed over her momentarily as she whirled toward the door, but doubt crept back in. What if it was a trick? What if the man had somehow crept into her friend's mind, waiting for her to slip? "Jenna, are you all right?" she called, her voice trembling slightly. "Please, I'm scared." "I saw him too." Lily felt her heart drop. "What? You saw him? Where?" The knock came again, frantic. "Right outside. I saw him walk past me. Let me in." Panic clawed at her throat once again. She wanted to open the door, to hug her friend and let the warmth sweep away the cold gripping her heart. But the shadows outside danced as if mocking her, gripping the door handle. She hesitated. Was it really Jenna? What if it wasn't he? But somewhere deep down, she knew that waiting wouldn't save her. Could she open the door without inviting in danger? The knock grew more insistent, more desperate. But fear held her captive. Lily inhaled deeply, the moment stretching like thin ice. Time ticked away, and she knew she had to decide. Would she take the risk? Or would she face whatever waited in the shadows alone? As she lifted the bolt, the door creaked open and something else slipped in. Something dark. What was waiting on the other side? The door swung open, creaking like it hadn't been used in ages. Lily's heart raced as she stepped back, ready to bolt, yet desperate for answers. But instead of her friend, the darkness seemed to spill into the room, wrapping around her like an unwelcome shroud. "Lily." Jenna's voice was lost beneath a gurgled hum, as if she were submerged deep in water. "What's happening?" Lily gasped, inching back. The figure before her was a ghostly shadow obscured by night, limbs twisting in unnatural angles. The panic inside her screamed for her to run, but she couldn't move. With a flick of a wrist, the streetlight flickered off, plunging them into darkness. "Lily, I didn't." Jenna's words morphed into a strangled cry, echoing across the room as the figure lunged, everything shattered from the weight of Lily's terror. In a blur, she whipped around, slamming the door shut. The bolt clicked loudly in the silence, but it felt like a whisper against her racing heart. "Jenna!" she shouted, confusion heightening the urgency in her voice. "What is going on?" Suddenly, the knock returned, this time more brutal, more frantic. The panic rose within her chest, each thud like a war drum calling her to action. "Jenna! No! You can't be out there!" she pleaded. Tears began to prick her eyes, a mix of fear and confusion welling up. "Are you in here or out there? Let me in." The desperate plea echoed from within, twisting and crawling like ivy around her mind. Lily grasped at the door handle, uncertainty clouding her thoughts. Was it really Jenna, or was this merely another trap woven by the darkness stalking her? "Please, I can't stay out here." The sound of her friend's voice softened under the weight of the knocks, a haunting reminder of what lay outside, the lurking presence, waiting, watching. "Stay quiet," Lily hissed, hoping to suppress the noise that would draw the figure's attention back. She stumbled backward, hands shaking, feeling for her phone. She needed help immediately. Dialing Jenna's number, she prayed her friend would pick up. One ring, two, each reverberation filled her with dread. And then the line clicked, a breathy whisper broke the silence. "Lily, I'm scared. He's watching." "What do you mean?" "Don't let him in. He knows your name. I saw him outside." The shadows outside flickered again, and Lily felt the weight of the world press against her. "What did he want? What did you see?" I don't know. I just know, he's here for you. He knew I was with you. He knows everything. Lily turned her phone off, fear coursing through her veins. She needed to think, to act fast. The pounding from the door intensified, an unholy rhythm that seemed to sync with her heartbeat. Hesitating, she darted to her kitchen drawer where she kept her knife. Gripping its cold steel, she took a steadying breath. There was no escape from this. Whatever was happening, she had to confront it. She could stay hidden, but how long until darkness found her? Resolute, she returned to the door, eyeing the shadows through the peephole. Holding her breath, she calmly peered outside, looking for the thin veil of clarity amidst swirling chaos. The visage at the door screamed back at her with a twisted grin. It wasn't Jenna. It never was. What do you want? She called out, confidence overshadowed by fear. Just a game, Lily, just a game, the figure drawled, voice trailing off like the fading light. No. She yelled as dread wrapped around her heart once again. A sudden crash resounded against the door, powerful enough to nearly dislodge it from its hinges. There was no time left, she had to make a choice, confront the shadows that lurked at her door or run blind into the night. The figure laughed, a chilling, hollow sound that froze her blood. And in that moment, Lily understood it was more than a game. How could she escape something that had so carefully crafted its play? What was she to do when the hunt was for her alone? The door splintered, giving way to a void of darkness. What else had she unknowingly invited in? The door slammed open, splinters flying everywhere as the dark figure lunged into the room. The air thickened with a heavy sense of dread, and Lily felt the chill of evil wash over her. Her grip tightened around the knife, trembling hands ready to protect herself, but the blade felt feeble against the suffocating darkness that consumed the space. Lily. The figure hissed, each syllable dripping with malice. She struggled to make out its features, half expecting to see Jenna's frightened face twisted by pain. But this was a monster, a silhouette shifting, contorting, as if made of pure fear. The laughter echoed unnervingly, vibrating against the walls as it advanced. Her instinct screamed for her to flee. Step by agonizing step, she backed into the kitchen, where the dim glow of the stovetop offered a faint flicker of safety. The knife, once a talisman of defiance, now felt like a joke against the terror that unfolded before her. "Why are you doing this?" she shouted, her voice a mix of defiance and trembling desperation. "What do you want from me? You, Lily, are the prize. This game isn't just for fun." The figure moved closer, its form undulating like smoke caught in a whirlwind. "Your fear makes it all worthwhile." Everything inside her recoiled. She had never felt so small, so helpless. Yet something deep within her ignited a flicker of determination. No more running. No more cowering. "Get away from me." She brandished the knife, reflecting the dim light. It felt absurd, this tiny instrument of steel against a nightmare. But it was all she had. Suddenly, with a swift motion, the entity lunged, its shadowy form moving faster than she could react. Adrenaline coursed through her veins, propelling her to the side. She collided with the kitchen island, the knife clattering from her grip and skidding out of reach. "Didn't anyone teach you to be a better player?" it taunted, the voice slithering across the air like a serpent. Heart pounding, Lily scrambled to her feet, her senses heightened. She had to outsmart this thing. It thrived on the chase, on her fear. Every instinct told her to run, but she'd learned to face her fears before. This time, it was different. She wasn't just fighting for her life, she was fighting for Jenna, too. Just then, a piercing scream broke through the chaos, slicing through the thick tension in the room. It was Jenna's voice, filled with pure agony and despair. Lily's heart lurched. There was no mistaking it, she was out there, vulnerable and alone. "Jenna!" she cried, but the darkness swallowed her words, turning them into a mockery. "I think it's time for the final round," the figure sang, delight swirling in its tone. Will you save your little friend, or will you choose to save yourself? Lily's mind raced. The doors were barricaded, her options dwindled to nothingness. She couldn't think. Not even a sliver of hope glimmered in this consuming void. Where is she? Bring her back. The sinister grin widened, revealing a malevolent satisfaction. You'll have to come out of hiding for that, dear. With a determined breath, she readied herself. Then let us finish this game. As she dashed out of the kitchen, the figure followed, dark tendrils reaching out to capture her, but she dodged to the side. The living room loomed ahead, shadows dancing across familiar furniture, once a comfort, now familiar foes. What had been a sanctuary was now a battleground, and time was running out. Your little friend won't last long, Lily, it mocked, breathing down her neck. Which will you choose? Will you leave her to me? The clock ticked louder in her ears, every second slashing through the tense air. She felt trapped in a twisted nightmare. But there was no backing down now. With every breath, awareness swelled, a reckless hope sparking inside her. She had to find Jenna. Had to uncover the truth behind this darkness enveloping them. The hunt was on, and the stakes were unbearably high. But as she crossed the threshold into the living room, a chilling realization struck her: the real game was just beginning. She could feel it, something waiting, lurking, poised to reveal its horrific final act. What hidden truth would she uncover when the darkness revealed itself fully? The living room held its breath, shadows swirling as Lily stepped inside. The darkness seemed alive, breathing and pulsating with a sinister energy. Every piece of furniture loomed like a specter, taunting her with its ordinary shape. She swallowed hard, her throat dry and her heart racing, looking for something, anything that could aid her. Where are you, Jenna? Her voice trembled, swallowed by the oppressive silence. The cold fingers of despair squeezed her chest, fear threatening to choke her. What if she was too late? Too quiet, dear, the figure whispered, slinking like smoke towards her. Don't you want to hear her screams one last time? Lily's stomach churned. Shut up. Just let her go. With renewed resolve, she turned her focus. She needed to find Jenna, but how? The kitchen was off limits now, behind her loomed a maze of shadows. She had to think like a hunter. They played by rules. If she could figure them out, there might be a chance. Now, Lily. The figure's voice dripped mockingly. Your little game has begun, and you're already losing. Choose wisely. What did that mean? She glanced around, eyes darting across the familiar sights: the coffee table, the old couch, even the worn rug. Everything felt foreign in this nightmare. Then, a glimmer caught her eye. On the table, a candle flickered weakly, casting a brief halo of light. A plan ignited in her mind. Come out, then. She shouted, tempering her fear with bravado. If you want to play, let us play. The laughter echoed menacingly, reverberating off the walls like a sinister choir. Shadows twisted, swirling around her. They were more than just dark, they seemed to bite, to threaten. Very brave, it hissed, but bravery, my dear, could be your downfall. Ignoring the creeping dread, she lunged for the candle. Gripping it tightly, she turned to face the darkness. I'm not afraid of you. She called, her voice steadier than she felt. Is that so? It challenged. What if I told you your friend's in more danger than you think? Panic surged through Lily's veins. What do you mean? Jenna is the key to the game. You should be asking how much you care about her. What are you willing to sacrifice? Each word strained against the silence as she recalled the terrible scream. It echoed in her mind. Could she risk everything? A part of her wanted to bolt, to hide and forget. But Jenna needed her. Stop toying with me. She shouted, heart racing. If you want me, come at me. Just let her go. Suddenly, the air grew icy, and the shadows began to converge, tightening around her. Breathing heavily, she felt trapped in a sinister grip. The candle flickered violently, casting eerie shadows, as if the darkness itself was alive, writhing and threatening to engulf her. The figure's laughter morphed into something darker, a cruel whisper that curled around her ears and sank deep into her thoughts. "It's time to face the truth, Lily. You know what you must decide." Her heart thundered like a drum, each beat urging her to act or to fall. She couldn't let the shadows win. She wouldn't lose Jenna like that. In a moment of desperation, she raised the candle, the flame sparking brighter in defiance. "You want me? Then come and get me." With that, she charged into the murky depths of the living room, faced with the truth that lurked within. What must she endure to save her friend? And as she navigated through the dark maze, another scream shattered the night, sending terror coursing through her veins. Was it Jenna? Was it the end of the game? But even as dread threatened to paralyze her, she pressed forward. The stakes were too high, and the darkness had to face her fury. What other horrors would she uncover in the shadowy corners of this twisted nightmare? The candlelight flickered wildly, casting jagged shadows that danced with malevolence across the walls. As she pressed deeper into the darkness, the corners of the room seemed to close in on her. Each whisper of the figure curled around her like a vine, suffocating her defiance. "Do you really think you can save her?" The voice crooned, slick and slippery. It wrapped around the words with feigned concern. "Oh, dear Lily, the lengths we go to for friends." "Shut up!" she shouted, but her voice faltered in the vast emptiness. Each sound swallowed by the dark felt like a punch to the gut. She gritted her teeth, determination flaring in her chest. Jenna was counting on her. With every stride, she thought of Jenna's laughter, their late-night talks, and the promises they made to always have each other's backs. That was worth fighting for, wasn't it? The flickering candle illuminated her path, and she began to notice the outlines of the furniture toolboxes for her escape, or perhaps weapons against the lurking shadows. "Ah! What a touching scene," the figure sneered, making its presence known. The shadows shifted, morphing into twisted shapes that blended seamlessly with the dark. "But remember, sacrifice comes with a price." Lily's breath hitched. "What do you want from me?" she dared to ask, her voice steadied by sheer will. A chill caressed her back, and the laughter erupted again, rich and cruel, a festering joy that sank into her soul. "I want to watch you choose, dear. Where does your love lie? In your friend's safety or in your survival?" Cold dread wrapped itself around her heart as its words sank in. She was playing a game she didn't fully understand, her choices unraveling like threads in the wind. A flash of movement caught her eye, and she spun, heart racing. There, a shadow flitted past, small yet unmistakably human. "Jenna!" Lily shouted, hope surging wildly as she dashed toward the movement. But an icy grip shot out from the darkness, clutching at her ankle. She stumbled, falling to the floor with a thud. "Ah, but you're not in control here." The figure crooned, slinking closer. Each step it took was tainted with malice, and Lily could feel the air grow thick with dread. "You should reconsider which path excites you more." Panic surged, and with a desperate kick, Lily broke free, scrambling back to her feet. But the shadows surged forward, a wave of darkness threatening to consume her whole, the echoes of Jenna's screams ricocheting in her mind. "No! I want to let you take her. Such spirit!" It hissed, almost playfully, as the shadows encroached around her, tightening like a vice. "But bravery can lead you nowhere good. How about a deal?" "What deal?" Lily hesitated, fury and fear clashing within. "What are you talking about?" "Only you can decide, Lily. Either give yourself in exchange for your friend, or embrace the shadows and watch her suffer." No! She couldn't bear to think of it. Yet, the weight of her choices pressed down on her. She could feel Jenna's presence, a faint flicker lingering just out of reach, but it was a cruel game. Every second felt like eternity. "Choose," it demanded, and Lily realized she had no time left. She glanced around, mind racing, burning with questions. What price would she pay to save Jenna? Would it be worth it? With a surge of adrenaline, she locked eyes with the shadows. I'll find a way, whatever it takes, I'll get her back. You say that, but your resolve is untested. The game is just beginning. Before the laughter could ring out again, she charged forward into the dark, determined to break free of the trap clamping around her. But as she ran, the shadows were relentless, closing in, forcing her towards something unknown. What awaited her at the end of this twisted path would change everything. Would she emerge victorious, or would the darkness swallow her whole? Lily's heart thundered in her chest, each beat echoing through her mind like a war drum. The air grew colder, thickening the shadows that pursued her. She felt their breath, hot and rancid, on the back of her neck as she sprinted through the darkened room. Flickering candlelight revealed moments of concealment, highlighting the outlines of furniture that suddenly felt like looming giants, eager to trap her. Faster, dear. The figure taunted, its voice a syrupy fine line of mockery twisting around her resolve. The longer you take, the deeper she sinks. Get away from her. Lily yelled, but her words sliced through the darkness only to vanish, leaving an emptiness that gnawed at her core. Each step seemed futile, as if she were running in place, the shadows growing thicker, more suffocating. But she pressed on. Jenna was somewhere close, buried beneath this warping nightmare. Terror surged through her, sending icy tendrils creeping up her spine, twisting her breath. What do I do? Where are you, Jenna? She screamed, her voice cracking, desperation clawing at her throat. In response, an echo of laughter rippled through the air, infectious and chilling. Ah, her cries must be quite beautiful to you, but beauty can be so deceiving. The shadows whisked past in a flurry, and for a moment, the darkness parted just enough to reveal a glimpse of Jenna's silhouette, huddled and trembling. Lily. A faint voice echoed back, the plea barely able to reach her ears. Hold on. Lily shouted as she darted forward, her heart racing faster than her limbs could carry her. Hope sparked within her, rekindled by Jenna's voice. But the shadows surged, encircling her like a noose, dragging her down into deeper darkness. Leave her alone. She cried, her body crashing into what felt like a wall of ice. An invisible barrier held her back, pressing against her chest, restricting her every move. She pounded against it, the panic swelling into an insatiable roar that echoed in the emptiness. Shadows wrapped around her ankles, cold and heavy, a whispered reminder of how close she was to losing everything. Choose your fate, Lily. Sacrifice or agony, the figure whispered, invading her mind. It slithered closer, and the air turned rancid like decay in her lungs. What will it be? I want tea. She forced the words through grit teeth, each syllable dripping with visceral resolve. I would never give in to you. There is always a choice, dear. You just haven't learned to make one that matters. The figure's grin widened, almost giddy, as if it reveled in the turmoil that flooded her mind. The shadows tightened around her, squeezing her tight, and in this moment, a memory floated up from the depths of her consciousness, the times when she and Jenna had talked about everything, when their laughter echoed in the quiet corners of their shared space. She remembered their dreams, their fears, and a promise made through thick and thin, they would come out unscathed. I will save you. She yelled, channeling the fire deep within her. Summoning every ounce of courage, she reached down, breaking through that cold grip and grasped the stone floor beneath her, feeling its rough surface beneath her fingertips. Lily. Jenna's voice cried out somewhere within the veil. The shadows rippled as if in response, swaying like a tempest ready to burst. What will you do? The voice teased. It's your choice, your devotion or your destruction. In that moment, she caught a flicker of movement again, and in the fading candlelight, she saw it, a small keyhole glimmering on the far wall, almost hidden behind the ramparts of shadow. Was it an escape? Or merely another trick she would fall for? Will you risk it all? The figure taunted again, its voice dripping with malice. Lily took a deep breath. "I'll risk everything." And with that, she propelled herself toward the glimmering promise of the keyhole, a singular hope igniting in her heart. The shadows roared, a cacophony of despair as she sprinted, but the darkness seemed to swirl, pulling at her as if trying to drag her back into the depths. Could she make it? Would the keyhole lead to salvation, or was it another cruel illusion? Time blurred as she reached for the light. Lily's fingertips brushed the cool edge of the keyhole. In that split second, the weight of despair behind her shifted. She felt the shadows recoil, as if they were afraid of the light that surged just beyond this narrow opening. Heart racing, she leaned closer, breathless. At the moment she twisted the keyhole's latch, it released with a soft click, resonating in the oppressive silence. Her heart pounded, a signal of hope or a countdown to more terror. The door creaked open, revealing a blinding light that bathed her in warmth. It beckoned her with an assurance that contrasted sharply against the darkness, but fear clawed at her gut. "Don't you dare!" The figure barked, its voice explosively filled with rage. The shadows writhed, spitting and twisting as they tried to reclaim her back into their suffocating grasp. "You think you can escape your fate? Jenna needs me." Lily shot back, her voice louder than the towering shadows. "I won't let you take her away." With that declaration, Lily hurled herself through the threshold. A surge of light enveloped her, but the shadows lashed out, clawing at her ankles, desperate to pull her back. A cacophony of screams echoed as if the very walls mourned her defiance. She could feel Jenna's despair, a debilitating weight on her heart. She had to reach her. As she fell into the light, it did not swallow her whole. Instead, it spun into spiraling colors, wrapping around her in a vibrant cocoon. The shadows outside thrashed violently, their wails echoing through the chasm of color. Cracks formed, fracturing their hold on reality, but Lily's heart was pounding for a different reason. "Lily!" Jenna's voice, a lifeline in the chaos, broke through the haze. "Help me. I'm still here." Lily pushed through the swirling chaos, her resolve solid as concrete. She reached out, feeling Jenna's presence interwoven with the light. "I'm coming. Just hold on." But just then, a sinister laugh erupted around her, a sound thick with malice. "Foolish girl. Do you think you can sever our bond? She is mine." A vision flashed before Lily's eyes, Jenna trapped beneath layers of darkness, her face twisted in fear, hands reaching up but unable to break free. The sight ignited a fire within Lily. She wasn't in this alone, she had to believe in their connection, their promise. "Your darkness can't touch us," Lily shouted defiantly. Whatever this force was, it trembled in the face of their bond. A blinding flash erupted from their combined strength, and Lily felt an electric pulse surge through her, connecting them like a heartbeat. The shadows shrieked, twirling and darkening like a tempest before her. They were losing strength. But just as victory began to dawn, a surge of energy blasted against her, and the shocking reality hit. What if this was a ruse? What if freeing Jenna meant sacrificing herself entirely? The figure in the dark laughed even louder, triumphant and cruel, knowing that doubt was settling in. "Your love is your greatest weakness, my dear. What will you choose? Remain a captive, or watch her suffer?" Each word twisted through Lily's heart, tearing at the resolve she had fought so fiercely to build. The light around them flickered, threatening to extinguish under the weight of the choice laid before her. Jenna strained, her voice wavering. "Don't let them win. You must believe in us." In the haze of fear and promise, Lily stood at the precipice between light and shadow. Time felt suspended, each second stretching into eternity. She could stay committed, faithful to Jenna, or yield to her own fears, letting the dark figure continue its torment. Would she choose love, or would she let the darkness win? Lily took a breath, ready to defy the world around her, but a piercing scream shattered the moment, causing the ground below to tremble as the figure lunged forward. What would happen next? Would the bond they forged hold, or would it shatter beneath the weight of despair? Lily's heart raced, echoing in the depths of her mind. That scream, chilling and filled with anguish, made her blood run cold. It was Jenna. The darkness twisted tighter around her, each moment seeming to stretch into infinity as she felt the weight of Jenna's fear press against her chest. "Hold on, Jenna. I'll get you out," she called, her voice fierce and unwavering. The bond they shared flickered like a flame amidst the encroaching dark, grounding her in a sea of chaos. The whispers grew louder, drowning her thoughts, but she'd fought hard to forge this connection. "Your friend's time is running out," the figure taunted, its voice oozing with sadistic pleasure. Its form swirled and writhed, shadow-fractured and threatening, and in that moment, Lily remembered what she had to do. This wasn't just about survival, it was about reaching for a light that would break this dark game forever. "Get away from her!" Lily screamed, charging forward through the swirling light and shadow. She could see Jenna's outline more clearly now, a fleeting spirit trapped in the void. The hope surged within, it was now or never. In a moment of clarity, Lily realized that the key to breaking the shadows lay within her. The memories, the laughter, the tears, the countless promises, they weren't just words, they were fuel, igniting her spirit. She had to believe in that fire. "We are stronger together," she shouted, her voice resonating with a conviction that made the floor beneath her pulse. The light around her flared, bringing clarity to the chaos, igniting her spirit like an express train surging forward, racing through the darkness. With an intense push against the shadowy grip, she felt a surge of power swell from within. "Our bond can't be broken by fear," she declared, determination fueling her every syllable. But the figure grew angrier, slashing through the air. "You foolish girl! I will take what is mine." It lunged toward Lily, its form blurring in a vicious swoop. Just as it reached for her with a shadowy hand, she dove into the burst of light, instinctively reaching for Jenna's ethereal shape. Their hands brushed, an electric shock racing through her body. The moment their fingers locked, time stopped. "Lily!" Jenna's terrified voice broke through the noise as she was pulled toward the light. "Don't let them take me." "Never!" Lily screamed, squeezing her eyes shut, releasing all the love and strength that connected them both. She could feel the warmth of their friendship enveloping them, a shield against the darkness. With a final surge, the air shimmered, and they were catapulted into a blinding whiteness. The shadows retreated, shrieking as if burning in the light. An earth-shattering crack echoed through the realm as the darkness chipped away like ice melting in the sun, leaving only a sweet calm in its wake. As they emerged, the world spun around them, spinning into focus. A soft warmth wrapped around them, a sunny day, vibrant flowers blooming, the smell of fresh coffee lingering nearby. "I can't believe it, we made it," Jenna whispered, tears streaking down her cheeks, her face radiant with relief. "I thought we lost everything." "Not even close," Lily said, drawing her in for a tight hug, their souls woven tightly together against whatever darkness dared to intrude. "We got through it together. That's what matters." And just like that, the chill of fear faded into the past. They'd faced the darkest parts of themselves and emerged stronger. Each girl found solace in the warm sunlight washing over them, forever free from the shadows that had once haunted their lives. "Let's leave this place behind," Jenna said softly, her voice filled with newfound courage. "Let us create our own future." "Together," Lily replied, grinning as she took Jenna's hand, their spirits renewed and unbreakable. With that, they stepped forward into the world anew, leaving behind not just the remnants of darkness, but a promise of resilience, empowerment, and friendship everlasting. Remember this lesson: love and courage will outshine any darkness. Now, before you go anywhere, you need to subscribe immediately. You don't want to miss the next exclusive stories that are about to unfold. Smash that like button now to feed the algorithm and help our community grow. I want to hear your thoughts, so flood the comments section with your reactions and theories about this shocking conclusion. And don't wait even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this amazing ending. Your support truly means the world, and together, we can face any darkness that tries to haunt us.